And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Non-Points Racing, the start of the All-Star Race weekend. Of course, we did not have the Truck Series All-Star Race yet, because I'm not rightly sure if Anthony McCurry's planning on doing an All-Star Race for trucks. But anyway, this is the Mobil Open, where two drivers are going to race their way into the season's All-Star Race, which already has a rather star-studded field, but gives drivers an opportunity to be able to get into that as well. And we are here at a new track as well. We ended up saying at the beginning of the season we were going to go to FTF Super Speedway. Well, a little bit of a schedule change. We are at Dragonette for 20 laps of racing. Yeah. So we're at Dragonette for some racing here, and it'll be the first time these drivers will be experiencing racing at this particular track. And as you heard, I'm being joined here by Michael Norman as well as Levi McIntyre. Guys, thanks for joining me in the commentators booth.
You had to get me up out of bed. I was sleeping right next door in the booth. He was like, "Hey, come on here right now." I'm like, "Oh, fine."
Yeah, I think
it's cool to be here.
I think people need to be aware that we are recording this in the morning, and all three of us basically just got out of bed. We're all pretty tired, so it'll be very interesting commentary to be sure.
And they're going off.
And they're going off turn 4, and the winners.
Oh gosh, that's probably something I would probably do.
Oh man. So anyway, we have a pretty good field here, and we're going to actually show you the high-tech, super high-tech. I mean, we broke the budget trying to put together this starting lineup grid for you guys to be able to see. As you can see on the left side of your screen, I mean, look at that. That thing is just beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm crying right now.
Yes, crying at the beauty. As you can see, 26 drivers going to be vying for 2 spots. Of course, there will also be a fan vote award winner as well. But I'm going to ask our co-commentators, who do you think's the one to watch here? Since we're at a brand new track, who do you think's going to be the best driver to adapt to a new track?
Is this like a super speedway, or is
this is a super speedway? Yes, indeed.
All right. So then I don't know who's going to win. Somebody. I pick Jesus.
Ralph Mason picks the safety car.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I picked Seth Cole.
Yeah, that 00 is gonna win. Oh man.
No. You want to know who's really gonna win? The Flagman.
Yep, Flagman's gonna win for sure.
Anyway, he's gonna wave the checkered flag and then run underneath it.
You'll just see the Flagman down there running circles past the start-finish line back. Past the start-finish line back. Fastest 20 laps ever. So let's get the command to fire up the engines here at Dragonette.
Drivers, start your engines!
So rookie Momo Akari starts on the pole position alongside of Trent Dunham, and this is certainly very unusual for us because we're not really able to, you know, look back at past history and say, okay, this person's really good at this track, or track position is key here. We can't say that because we've never seen them race here at this particular racetrack. And so for us, the difficulty, I mean, how much more difficult is it for the drivers to be told like about 2 weeks before the All-Star race, okay, we're switching it up, we're going to here, and you're only allowed a couple of times testing on this racetrack, and now you got to go out there and try and finish first or second to get into the All-Star race.
Well, it's very easy to prepare for a super speedway because you just got to get the testing weight, but to actually set up your car for a track like this, that's a different story. You know, you can mentally prepare yourself for a super speedway, that's no problem, but to actually physically set up your car for the track, having never raced here, that's like I said, that's a whole different story.
Indeed.
So also, you said that you're able to mentally get yourself ready for a super speedway. So mentally, are you willing to try and experiment with 3 and 4 wide racing early on?
If you have the run, go for it.
Yep, there you have it.
I mean, pretty much what do these guys have to lose? I mean, if they don't get first or second, they are not racing the All-Star race. Unless they get the fan vote.
Yeah.
So Momo Akari starts on the pole alongside Trent Dunham, Lewis Stevens and Jessica Shelton make up row 2, and then Henry Sanford and Charles Jackson here in row 3. We say that during this particular point of the season, it's the evaluation process. Drivers basically looking back on their season. If they have having a good season, they look back and say, how can we continue to make it good? If they're having a poor season, they look back and say, how can I make it better? This can usually be a springboard for a lot of drivers, either in a good way or a bad way. Green flag is out here at Dragonette. Let's see what they're going to do.
That pace car was had a close call with that pit wall.
Yeah, really close right into the pit wall. Guess the safety car may not win today.
God, you know how funny that would be if it just ran into it?
Oh man.
I had that happen, actually.
Already, Henry Sanford going in for second place.
Yep, Henry Sanford. Now, this is a driver that, as I've said in the past couple of weeks, Sanford coming in replacing Brendan Berg, and, you know, in order for him to really get into even a wild card spot, he's got to have really good finishes, and he's got to get to victory lane. So, I mean, if he could get up into the All-Star race, it would give him some good experience and everything, and continue a wave of good momentum he's been on the last few weeks.
Yep.
And doesn't look like they're wasting any time going 3 wide. They're 3 wide from the front all the way to the back of this field.
But it's Henry Sanford who's going to be able to come away with the lead here. Because once he ducks down to the inside line.
Here comes Qualls.
Yeah, James Qualls gets a nice run. Help from Cody Lamas on that inside line. And typical restrictor plate race where that inside line is going to be the line that moves if it gets a lot of people. And look at Cody. He's going to go 4 wide with help from McCurry.
Oh boy, let's see what's going to happen with this.
Leaving Qualls in the middle with no help.
Yeah, Qualls and Henry Sanford both kind of leaning on each other in the middle. Whoa, they bounced off each other there for a moment.
Close call.
And there goes the pole sitter, Momo Akari, falling back. She was on the outside of that 4 wide exchange, and now it's pretty much a 4-car breakaway right at the moment at the front of the field. Now they're going to start getting reeled in again, though.
Yep, oh, 4 wide again back.
Yeah, that's the 62 of Lewis Stevens. I believe he was back there with Trent Dunham. I think they may have just settled it out. They have. They're back to 3 wide racing. For the moment.
Yeah, for the moment.
Meanwhile,
I'm gonna ask you guys this. Based on the racing we see right now, where do you think the winner is going to come from? You think it's going to be someone who's going to be staying up front, or you think it's going to be someone who's cycling to the back?
well, you know what? I've been trying to look here, seeing based on drivers that did start at the back of the pack, seeing if they've been able to work their way up to the front. And I believe one of those drivers that did start near the back was the 4 of William Bedford, and he's now up, I think, just inside the top 10 now. As you see him with Clay Rogers on that inside line, the number 4 machine.
Yep.
But this is a 20-lap event here, too, and, of course, the All-Star race is going to be much longer than this. So, you know, as we've seen at restricted plate tracks, there's always that wave. You got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 that swap being up at the front and then falling to the back. So it's really going to be interesting to see here at the end of 20 laps which driver from which wave is actually up there at the front.
Yep, as Kyle Matthews led that lap.
Over Dylan Thoreau, and Kyle Matthews, really been a tough season for him so far. Kyle Matthews, of course, has had really good runs in the Snickers Cup Series, but this season in Mobil, there've been a couple of drivers that really, it seems like every time there's a wreck, one of these drivers are involved. I mean, Matthews is one of them. Another one of them is Clay Rogers in the 18. Another one, Jeff Fair in the 23. So you can bet these guys are going to try and be up there at the front. And this has got to be right here one of the most consistent drivers that I've seen the past couple of weeks, Kyle Corbett, who actually took over the points lead. Or no, I'm sorry, second in points, rather.
Here, right behind him.
Yep. Second in points at the midway point of this season. He's been really strong, but still looking for that first win of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael, you brought up a point there of teammates. I mean, there are drivers here who do have teammates in this field, the 9 and the 94, the 20 and the 18 and the 11. I mean, it is a non-points event,
And
but
54.
how willing will you be to work with a teammate in order to maybe try and have both of you get first and second place to get yourself into the All-Star race?
Well, if you only have one other teammate, it'll be fine because you'll both transfer in. But if you have more than one other teammate out there, then it's going to be kind of hard because then you're going to have to try to figure out which one of your teammates is going to be in the All-Star race.
Yeah.
You're going to have them fighting it out behind you, and that's probably at super speed. That's probably what would cost you the race because their teammates would be trying to get in the All-Star race behind you, and another set of cars just fly by you.
We talked about the waves that take place here at restrictor plate tracks. Well, Momo Curry!
Crash.
Oh boy.
42 went up into the 18, and they're still wrecking. Oh, man. That's Jessica Shell. Oh, they're still wrecking. Oh, my gosh, it's a smoke screen.
Can't even see.
No, you can't. Who all is even involved? Can't even see through. I see Bob Jones' machine. Lewis Stevens, Clay Rogers, Jessica Shelton, Steve Pollard. I think Sean Galligan was in it.
Galligan kind of looks clean. I'm not sure.
That was the
But,
car I'm pretty sure right there started it all. Momo Akari. I think I saw her wiggle off of turn number 2 and slide up into the 18 of Clay Rogers. Not certain. Oh, Austin Mongold.
Damn.
This car is just destroyed.
Boy, he's been having a tough couple of weeks. He lost the points lead after Dover to Sean Galligan. Then he ended up finishing outside the top 20 the following week at Richmond, and now involved here in a wreck in a non-points event.
I saw the 38.
Yep, there he is, Bob Jones. I'm not rightly sure. Well, I can't say for certain, but I almost wonder if there was a wreck and then maybe a follow-up wreck with drivers that were all trying to scatter to the inside line to try and avoid the initial contact that took place between the 42 and the 18.
Well, we've all seen it happen before.
Looks like the 18 of Clay Rogers, 99 of Steve Pollard, Galligan, William Bedford, they're going to at least come around to pit road under the caution. It looks like, oh man, Kyle Matthews, he was in another wreck. We were just talking about how his bad luck has been seeming to happen all at once. But the leader under the caution is going to be David Rivera in the 28. He got up there all of a sudden. Didn't really talk about the 28 yet. Him over Henry Sanford and Chris Louvier. Let's go back and quickly look at a replay of what puts under the caution here for the first time, just nearing the halfway point here at Dragonette. Now watch right here, this was coming out of turn number 2. I don't think the 28 makes any contact with the 42, but apparently, I mean, it almost looks like it was all Momo Akari. She just slid up the racetrack there.
Trying to stay behind the 94.
Yeah, I don't know if she, I thought, maybe she thought she was clear on the 18, I'm not sure.
They just ran out of room and pushed the 18 right up into the wall.
Now we're going to jump to the helicopter view because we clearly saw from live action that we could not see past the smoke screen. But there you see Steve Pollard.
Henry's damage. Yeah, Henry. I said Henry.
Henry.
Sorry, I was thinking Mark Henry.
Oh, whoa. Kyle Matthews got punted from behind on the high side there by Dylan Thoreau. That sent him down to Galligan.
That's where the other wreck was right there we saw, was the 62 coming right back up the track.
Yep, right up in front of Bob Jones. And then William Bedford nowhere to go. And I think Austin Mongold may have hit Sean Galligan.
Yep.
9 of Jessica Shelton back here. I don't know how she got involved. Just saw her turn dead. Okay, oh wow.
She got
in from
bounced off her teammate.
Yeah, watch there. The bumper grab off the 20 and the 7 sends Matthews up into the wall, and then he just turns dead left down into Shelton.
Yeah.
It's just rebounding off the wall.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Boy, Henley took a pretty hard lick there into the inside safer barrier, driver's side. Boy, that 7 car darted across the track twice. Down into Shelton the first time, then back up the track, hit the wall again, then back down into Galligan.
Jeez.
And there you see that follow-up wreck, if you will. Bob Jones nowhere to go, ran to the back of Lewis Stevens, and
Mongold took a hard hit into that.
oh wow! And then back down into Lewis Stevens, who flipped
And flipped her
over.
over.
Wow.
That's the one bad thing about banking at this track. If you get hit on the banking, you could flip over.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to the 62. Kind of got T-boned there as Mongold, after hitting Galligan, went up into the wall, and then as we saw Matthews dart down the track, well, Mongold did the same and just got the 62 in the passenger side door, and over went the 62 South Point Chevrolet. Luckily lands back on all 4 wheels, but wild ride there for Lewis Stevens, the rookie.
Yeah.
And there you see the smoke screen from TV number 1. That's why we use the helicopter view, people.
Yeah.
So that's what
we
put us...
cannot see crap.
Nope. That wreck happened right up at the front of the field. That was well, I guess like you could call it a 4-wide situation for second place. And it just went south in a hurry. A lot of drivers were able to miss, but a lot of drivers weren't. And a lot of drivers' chances of making this season's All-Star races gone up in smoke. So we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 12 of 20. That'll give us 9 laps to go. It'll be a single file restart here, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly they decide to fan out into 2, 3, and yes, 4 wide racing once again. David Rivera is the leader, but we do have drivers out of the race. Surprisingly, though, only 4 drivers retired after that incident. Austin Mongold, Momo Akari, Bob Jones, and Lewis Stevens. Now, the big question, though, is Galligan, Matthews, Shelton, Rogers, Bedford, all those guys that came down pit road, repaired damage, etc., they may not be up to speed. So they're going to hope probably for another caution flag to happen to even get themselves back into contention to maybe make the All-Star race.
Right.
So David Rivera leads the way here. Kind of ironic, too, because that 28, if David Rivera makes it in, it'll be the second straight season that ride's gotten into the All-Star race. Jordan Davis put it in last season as the green flag is back out. Henry Sanford lines up second. Chris Louviere's third. Charles Jackson's in fourth. And
the pace car's in fourth.
Oh, yeah, the pace car's in fourth. Go, pace car! And this is a battle, actually, right now for the fourth position. Trent Dunham going by his buddy Charles Jackson, and now they're 3 wide behind him. Gene Sanford, that's TJ Dent, and Kyle Corbett. And it'll be interesting to see here, too, how quickly these guys are able to all bunch back up here, because they were 3 wide about 6 rows deep at one point at the beginning of this race.
Yeah.
Chris Louvier, big run as he's got help from Gene Sanford trying to catch David Rivera, but Sanford decides, no, I'm going to go to the inside line instead.
No lead for you.
Yeah, all the help's on the outside line, though. Well,
Yeah.
Here comes Charles.
Henry Sanford, Trent Dunham trying to make the outside line
Oh,
work.
Charles almost didn't know where to go.
Yeah, caught in the middle there. Wow, Charles' car washed right up the track there, too. I don't think he's got a very good handling race car, at least not in the middle line.
Yeah.
Almost slid right up into Louvier.
That's 3 wide for the lead, and here comes Thoreau again.
Yeah, Dylan Thoreau and the 2 going to go back to the point. Cody Lamas right there, Connor Breeden, Anthony McCrory, they're all up here, and they know that they got to have themselves in the right place at the right time in order to transfer into the All-Star race. And right now, we got about maybe 15, 16 drivers that are still in the hunt for those 2 spots.
I'm pulling more from my fellow commentator of the Oreo Truck Series there, but he's kind of stuck on the outside.
Anthony McCrory there in that Audi. I'll tell you, one driver that I was looking at in this field that might be one to watch out for is Charles Jackson, because he's got really good numbers whenever he's in the Mobil1 Cup Series All-Star race. I remember one season when he was in, I think it was all 3 of the open races. He ended up winning the trucks and Mobil opens to transfer his way into those All-Star races. So when it comes to these non-points events, especially during All-Star race weekend, Charles Jackson, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cody Lamas doing a lot of mirror driving right now. We haven't really seen drivers be able to hold the lead, but Cody was doing a pretty good job. But now here comes TJ Dent down to the bottom. And it looks like these guys right at the moment are willing to settle it just double wide, but I don't think that's going to last very long.
Exactly.
TJ Dent, of course, trying to get into the All-Star race 1 week after his brother Ty Dent ended up winning at Charlotte. The last opportunity for a points race to get into the All-Star race, and right now he's got a challenge from David Rivera coming back to the front. And with a smaller field now, with the fact of drivers either off the pace or out of the race, it's not taking drivers as long to get back to the front of the field after they get shuffled out onto the high side.
Yeah, Seth, that was a nice rhyme. You should go get yourself a Dr. Seuss book.
That's made up funny.
Oh, man. Jeff Fair going to go to the inside line now as he's got help here from rookie Henry Sanford in the 94. And I'm watching a couple of drivers who have kind of just hung at the back since the green flag came back out. James Qualls, one of them, Daniel Gilbert, haven't really made a charge to the front yet. They could be lying in wait.
They got 4 laps to go, so if they're going to get to the front, they better start going now.
They could be playing possum.
Well, look at Trent's going to try to make a 4 wide in the back.
Yeah, Trent done it. Whoa, Charles Jackson right up against Anthony McCrory's door.
Oh, okay.
They settle it out. That's one thing about restricted plate tracks. The 2 most treacherous lanes in a 4-wide situation are those 2 drivers in the middle lanes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're getting very close up front.
Yeah, James Qualls dealt with the... Oh, Chris Louvier trying to go up the middle there with his teammate Kyle Corbett. Dylan Thoreau was right there too, and oh boy.
3 to go.
Qualls,
This can end badly in a
wow.
hurry.
Qualls literally just bumped doors with the 6 of Lamas right there. That was close.
And look who's got the lead.
Jean Sanford to the point. First time that we've seen her. And look at there. Told you that 25 was lying in wait. Now he's up there in the second position.
Yeah, but now he's going to get put on the outside there by the 11.
I mean, how do you like strategize of, okay, I'm in this spot on lap 3. I should be up at the front on the final lap. How do you figure that out?
You just,
Patience.
yeah, that, and you just got to watch and see as the race progresses which line goes early on in the race and try to pick that line around the end.
Tell you two drivers who could be in trouble here. Gene Sanford, Connor Breeden kind of opened up a little bit of distance between themselves and everybody else, and look how the field comes right back to them.
Oh, but there's one. She was able to put the block on Qualls.
For the moment, you're right, she was. James Qualls going to help push Gene Sanford as they'll try and draft back up to the back bumper of the Rich Chevrolet. Next time by, white flag. If you're going to make the move for the lead or second, you got to make it now, I would think.
There he goes.
Oh,
Gene Sanford, I think Gene Sanford's team just tapped into our communications radio.
White flag.
Yeah, but that's not going to necessarily be good if they're going to stay side by side like that.
Yeah, and the good news there was,
Here comes Lamas and Dent.
yep, 2 wide behind him, so that
And here
helps
comes Charles
Gene
Jackson.
Sanford at least hold the lead for now.
Charles Jackson's in the mix too.
Charles Jackson, here comes Anthony McCrory. Don't count him out. David Rivera could still be there. Look at McCrory going to try and go 4 wide.
Oh.
No help on that inside line.
Oh,
That's
sliding
probably
up the track. That was Jackson.
That just ruined Charles Jackson's chances.
That did, and now Gene Sanford continuing to be pushed here by TJ Dent. Breeden going to try and battle back on the high side.
And to the line.
Oh! Who was it? Was it Breeden or was it TJ Dent?
It was Breeden, I think.
They're saying it was Breeden. It was indeed.
Wow. Photo finish for the second spot.
We knew Gene Sanford basically out of 4 was going to hold the spot for the win, but man, it was close there for that second position.
Yeah, it was.
And you saw the not only the pressure, but the anxiety, the need to get to the front there for Jackson and McCrory, the moves they were making. The guys up at the front, they were basically just trying to keep those guys in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
So Gene Sanford in the 21, Connor Breeden in the 33, they will both be transferring their way into this season's Mobil1 Cup Series All-Star race. For the rest of these drivers, their chance of making the All-Star race now lies on the fans. Look at that. Dead tie for the second position there, they're saying,
Wow.
between Breeden and Dent.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, let's look back and see if we can see just exactly how close that was, because that was practically a dead even heat between those two.
Right.
Let's see here. Alright, here they come to the line.
Wow.
Man.
It almost looked like as if Dent had it a little bit too. That's how close it was.
At that angle, it does look like Dent is a little further
Let's take a
ahead.
look from the helicopter view. Well, helicopter's not going to help too much. I thought it would give us a direct look.
Go back one more, even though it won't be right on the line.
See, at that point
Yeah,
right there, it looks like the 15 actually has the spot.
Yeah, but thanks to that draft from the
Yeah.
sixes.
Back it up,
Get
back it up a little bit, and then go and then click the slow motion like 7 times.
Didn't get it in time.
So you gotta go further back.
Well, doesn't really matter, because we know who ended up winning it.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's a look at your official finisher results from this race. Connor Breeden and Gene Sanford both transfer in. The rest of these drivers will be relying on the fan vote to get themselves into the All-Star race. Next race is going to be coming up will be, of course, the Snickers Shootout. No, there isn't a Snickers Shootout this season. I forgot because we have so many drivers in the All-Star race. So the next race will actually be the, if we don't have a Truck Series All-Star race, it'll be the Mobil1 Cup Series All-Star race. But I want to thank Michael and Levi for joining me here in the commentators booth for this race.
No problem, man. It's fun.
Indeed it was.
So be sure to subscribe to their channels, links are in the description, and we'll see you guys next time here on the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.
Noot noot.